Okay, so we're sitting here with Shane from Myon and Shane54 and the beautiful Aruna. We'll start talking about Myon and Shane for a little bit. What made you guys start doing remixes and mashups?
That's what we did all our lives. Because we have this urge of making music, and it's not like we're doing it for anything else than for our own enjoyment. And then remixing comes pretty naturally. If you start making music, you always want to remix something, you know, so you try to get an acapella, and then all of a sudden you remix something you like, and then you find that people might like it, and that's it.
You guys, what categorizes one of your remixes as a monster mix or a Summer of Love remix?
Monster mixes are harder. They have a much harsher sound, and they're faster, while the Summer of Love mixes are more like sort of a in-between house and trance. And I hate the word trance because that's not something, I always thought that it sounds very silly. So it's not trance, it's somewhere in between. You can't really tell what it is.
Aruna, you released a new single called Save the Day, and that's coming on October 8th. Tell us a little more about that.
That's my second solo single, follow-up to Let Go, which came out 2 years ago on Juno Beats. This one has a very different sound. Myon and Shane produced it, so it has their sort of signature punch, and it's still very musical. We kind of we wrote it together. It's kind of weird. We were in this sort of very creative period. I was in Hungary at the time, and we were writing 3 songs all at the same time. The one that became All Around You, which is Cosmic Gates, Save the Day, and one which I won't reveal the title for yet, which is going to be their forthcoming single at some point, I guess early next year, probably. Yeah. And it's kind of funny, the process, because we were sort of like writing melodies to one, and no, that sounds like a good chorus for that one, but that verse works with that, and sort of like mixing and matching. But in the end, it came out like, when I came up with the chorus for Save the Day, I was actually working on their single, and Mario was there at the time, and he was like, it's a great chorus, it's not right for our thing, but it might be great for you. Because my angle's a little more poppy, because I came from pop as a pop singer and a pop artist. I wrote the Hannah Montana song, so I'm not afraid to go there. And I wanted this song to have that kind of more commercial appeal and crossover potential. And these guys came through with an awesome production. The lyric is sort of similar to Let Go. It's inspired by a breakup, but it's sort of a little bit. Let Go was like after the breakup. Save the Day is like the point in the relationship when you're still in it, but you hit that moment where you realize this is just done. And it's just such a fucking sad moment. I don't know if I'm supposed to say that. It's such a sad moment.
You can say whatever.
Okay. It's such a sad moment because you're there and you're still in the relationship, but you know it's just over, and it's almost more sad than the breakup, because it's like, you know, I don't know, you remember how it used to be in the beginning, you know, and it had this innocence and this charm, and now it's just sort of devolved into fighting and all sorts of stupid shit that is not what you want out of a relationship. And so, yeah.
So it's a relationship.
A relationship.
Sorry.
Nice one. That's what it becomes, yeah. Or it can. And that's kind of what Save the Day speaks to, the moment where you just like, I'm here, but it's over.
Going a little back about what you just said, you mentioned pop. You guys have also said before that you guys produce pop.
Yeah.
How do you really feel about that?
That was my task. Back in the 90s, I was a singer in a boy band, and we sold about 500,000 records in Hungary, and I did a lot of albums as a producer or as an artist. So because of that, pop music is very natural to us. And our biggest problem with dance music, that most of the tracks go to a level and then they can't reach another point, and then they sort of stick there. But they're good, so to spice it up, we have to add a vocal to it, and all of a sudden we have a mashup which works really well. Because some of those songs have really amazing beats and very well done pads or melodies, but they really can go farther than the usual dance track, and it's gonna fade away in about 2 months because the next one is coming. But this way, those tracks can live longer because it's a different thing.
This is more towards you guys. Tell us a little bit about Velveteen.
Velveteen. That was, the three of us started working together in 2009 on their single Helpless, and we just felt an amazing connection from day one. And at a certain point we started talking about, you know, some of our influences and some of our tastes and some of our backgrounds, and we had all these like instincts and sort of like frustrated desires to create music that none of us really could do, given sort of the categories that I won't say we were boxed into, but almost. And so we kind of had this idea, like, why don't we form this offshoot project that totally rebels against all the rules of dance music and is really pure and about the music and about the complexity and sophistication that we love in certain pop songs, the orchestral breakdowns, the really cool chord voicings with the tensions and like unique chord progressions that go where you don't think they're gonna, but then resolve so they're not like crazy dissonance.
It's like our jazz. Like we can do stuff that you normally wouldn't do on an average dance track, because that's not gonna work in a clubby environment.
Yeah. It's really liberating to have this. And the other thing I love about it is it's an equal playing field. It's them, it's me, we're all in it together. It's not like them featuring me or me.
It works really well. And on the other hand, it always has that taste that we think that it's unique in terms of we don't care about what people think about it. We just do it because we love it. And if people like it, then it's fine. But it's for ourselves. Let's see if we can make something grandiose or whatever. And if we can achieve something like that, then it's like,
But it's kind of interesting that, with that spirit, it's done so well. Sometimes it's like it takes that kind of detachment from, trying to give people what they want to actually get people to like something.
Aruna, lately you started doing DJ sets. How'd you get started? What made you start doing being a DJ?
Well, actually, Myon and Shane had the idea for me to start DJing, and when they first brought it up, I will say I resisted it. It kind of scared the crap out of me because it just seemed like a huge can of worms. I've been
can of worms?
Yeah, it's an expression.
I've never heard that before.
Like this whole huge new skill set to take on. I've seen a lot of DJs and everything they have to go through, and checking promos and warping and just traveling and putting sets together and all this stuff. And so it was scary at first, but at a certain point I was like, I just gotta try this. I just got curious, and I was like, you know what, hell with it, let's give it a go. And so I was with Myon in Hungary, and he taught me, and as soon as I made my first transition, it was like, love at first transition. It was like, I just totally fell in love.
She was so nice. I was down there, and she was basically sitting there at her computer 24/7. And she was like, oh, are you done yet? No, I still need to do this. And she was warping, and she was very talentedly doing what she does really well now.
I had good teachers.
You guys are releasing a new documentary called The Anatomy of a Megamix. I know you guys put a lot of hard work into that. Tell us a little bit.
That's everywhere we go, we always film. And we have this TV show where we basically it's just stupid stuff filled with footage from our travels. And for some weird reason, people like it. And we have this idea to make a 1 hour long music video for one of the Megamixes. And the reception was so huge that we did another one. It took about 4 months to complete. And there's about 900 video files and 2,273 edits, and it was a really big task, but it's finished now, and we can't wait to unleash it to the public.
Aruna, you recently been working with artists like Cosmic Gate, Ferry Corsten, Marcus Schultz. Tell us a little bit about that experience.
Which one?
All of them in one word.
Everyone's different, and everyone has their advantages and their disadvantages. I will say, the higher up the totem pole you go as a singer, the more, I should say, the less included you are in the whole process. So working with, guys like Ferry can be great because they have such a huge name, such a big brand, people trust them, but I didn't, it was kind of me like writing this melody and lyric and sending it over, and I really had no idea what was going on until it came out. Whereas which is cool, because it came out great, so I can't argue. I prefer to be more included in the process that's one of the things I loved about working with these guys, is from day one, it was like I was contributing chord progressions, piano parts. It was really like I felt like it was a lot more of an equal partnership.
If we get stuck with some chords or with anything musical needs to be solved, she's the first person to turn to, and she's like,
I felt the trust. That's what it was. I mean, I studied music my whole life, and I don't like being treated like,
she can arrange classical stuff and all that. She's a mastermind.
So they're still hands down my favorite guys to work with, and obviously that's why we made Velveteen, and we'll be doing a lot more in the future, that's for damn sure.
Lastly, just how did you guys enjoy the Nocturnal Wonderland Festival?
It's awesome.
If you've seen the footage, then there's nothing to say about it. You can't describe the crowd, the energy from the crowd, and when this many people sings your song, that's always something very, very uplifting. And especially when you travel 20 hours and you haven't slept for a long time and you're very, very tired, you get so much energy from the crowd, and it's really, really good.
You know what else too? I don't know how you feel about this, but something about performing in an environment that's not open air because there's a tent, but it's in the desert and it's hot and it's like this outdoor air coming in. It gives it something. I don't know what that is. It's like that festival feeling. That added a lot.
You're Robbits.
We're the event.
I know the website.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Aruna.
And I'm Shane from Myon and Shane54.
Thanks for watching.
Robbits. I'm Aruna from Velveteen. I'm Aruna from Aruna.